Hey guys, Georgeazoid over here and welcome! I'm going to show you Evil Dead the game. Now this game just came out Friday the 13th, today, and well, I'm a massive Evil Dead fan. I love Evil Dead. My first one was Evil Dead 2? No, that's a lie, I lied to you. Army of Darkness was my first one, then eventually Evil Dead 2 was the second one I watched, and then Evil Dead 1, and then the reboot? I think I watched the reboot before I watched the show. I'm pretty sure in that order. Anywho, I actually have never really had the opportunity to play any single Evil Dead game. In fact, the only game that I've ever played that had anything from the Evil Dead franchise is, you guessed it, Dead by Daylight with Ash himself. Good old Ashley Williams. Now, this video is going to focus on the differences between the survivors and the demons. I'm just going to show you all the different survivors that you start off with. Keep in mind you can unlock more, and I'm going to show you the different demons as well. So we're basically be spending time in the collection. Now as far as actual gameplay, I'm going to have separate videos for that. Again, this is just for the differences between and what's available and all that stuff. So here we go. Let's go ahead and go into the collection because it's literally trying to get my attention. Now bear with me with my voice. I've been recording a lot, I've been streaming a lot, and I really haven't slept that much either, so it's slowly disappearing. I actually really like the graphics on this like art style over here. You can even tell who's who from like each one, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. So like, this is obviously Army of Darkness Ash, and then this is Evil Dead 2, and this is Evil Dead 1 Ash. So it doesn't look like I have the Ash from Ash versus the Evil Dead. And I don't think there's any other ones besides that one, so... Alright, so you have different classes for the survivors. Now, class 1 is Leader. I'll read it out loud for you. Leaders have specific auras that improve their stats and the stats of nearby survivors. They're also more resistant to fear. Now, fear is a mechanic in the game. I'm going to dive into that in a moment, but basically, if you're running in a squad, because it's a squad of 4, this is in fact a 4v1, sort of. It's not like Dead by Daylight where there's one killer. You'll even look over and you can see these like doled out portraits over here of the different types of demons that you can already read ahead. There's different units in each of the demons. It's kind of more like an army. So with the Leader, it's exactly what I just read to you before. Their existence nearby their survivor friends, so their squad, improves them. So like, an example, if you're one of those players that just want to make sure to be able to buff everybody while also not being a hindrance, you probably want to play Leader. Now the reason why you're not going to be a hindrance is because the fear mechanic that's in this game allows the demon player to be able to possess you. Yes, possess you. Another player can take over your character. Worse yet, it's the player from the other side, and that player can do a number of things against you. They could drain your ammo and just shoot off your gun so that you have nothing. Or they can fight your friends, and if they get a good, angle on them or even like a good drop on them, they might severely hurt your friends. I've even seen some videos where if you pick the right survivor and they have really strong gear, the player literally just wipes the entire squad just with the legendary shotgun or the legendary like axe or something like that. Anywho, so that's the Leader. If I go into it, you'll see we play as Annie. Now, it's so loud. So you have outfits, right? This is the part, that's so cool. Shop, smart, shop, smart. In Evil Dead, there's S-Mart. Ash worked for S-Mart. Yeah, anyway. So I have this? I don't, right? Oh, I don't. Okay, I don't. It's telling me to buy something. I'm not gonna buy it right now. Okay, anywho. That actually looks pretty cool. I might actually buy that. That's in the deluxe edition, it looks like. Anyway. This is the default outfit. You can choose all your outfits. Your outfits load up there. The season pass seems to be skins mostly so far from what I've seen. I don't know if they're gonna do anything more, but the first part of the season pass is a set of skins for a bunch of survivors. Now, as you gain experience in all of your different matches, that total experience, you can level up either a survivor or your demon of choice. It's very much like Dead by Daylight in that sense, where your blood points only go to wherever you put them. So let's say I wanted to put it into here, good old Annie. You can only level up tier 1 first, or the level 1 available one, so it's got great influence, which increases the range of your aura skill. Once you make enough points, okay, so in this case, I need 1 point in order to go into here, and then 4 points, and then 7 points, and then 10 points. So you have to spend an overall of 10 points in these first 4 tiers before you can even get into the 4th tier, and 13 in total, I believe, for this last tier over here. So you actually have a level up tree where you can make your survivor better, or you can make your killer better. Now here's the interesting thing. Not all survivors are the same. Unlike Dead by Daylight, where you just basically get a skin, you're basically playing a skin for the survivor. It's just choose your favorite looking survivor with their favorite outfit that you want to put on them, and then put whatever perks, slap whatever perks you want on them. In this case, you actually have genuine builds. Actual legitimate builds. Reduce the stamina cost of sprinting, reduce the stamina cost of increase maximum health, so the dodging. Dodging is actually really important, by the way. Ammo, so on and so forth. I'm trying to see if there's any of the auras. I'm not sure if... I'm assuming the aura is a power. I haven't played this class yet, so maybe we'll get into it a little bit later. Now you have the warrior class. Now the warriors have more health and inflict more melee damage. So they're a little bit tankier and they hurt a little bit more when you hit them with melee. You can either use melee or you can shoot your enemy or enemies, because some of the enemy is AI. Some of the enemy is the player. It depends on whether they're possessing something or not. That's really what it boils down to. So let's say we pick good old Ash right over here. So this is Ash from Army of Darkness? Yes, I was right. I figured. I could tell just by his face and like the cuts on his face and stuff like that. I'm a little bit obsessed, I guess. Anywho, so see, immediately, very different first tier perk, I guess. I don't know what to call this. Skill. We're just gonna call it. It literally says skills. It says skills. George, reading is fundamental. The last hit of your combo causes increased damage. So you can level it up to 3 times and not only increase 50% damage. Now let's say I want to go and put something else over here. So let's say I do maybe like 1 over here because I really want to go to one of these. I can increase my overall weapon damage, and then let's say I only want to level up 1 over here. I can make myself tankier and give myself more health, and then let's say I want to pick 1 over here. I think you get the picture. We'll see the starting skill for good old Scotty over here. Scotty's also very similarly. Actually, you know what? Now looking at it, it seems to me that all warriors have the same perks or the same skills, right? Yeah, okay, cool. So keep in mind, these are my first impressions. I'm literally learning as I go along. I have watched some gameplay, and I actually did get to play a little bit in the closed beta. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that, but I didn't really have as much time with it. I definitely didn't spend too much time with the survivors. I actually tried out the Kandarian forces, so the demons, and you know, I wish I played a little bit more, but I didn't get to, so I'm actually learning some of this. So it seems like the skill trees are exactly the same, depending on whether you're leveling up hunter, support, warrior, leader. Now, I do think it looks like you can only level up, correct, 1 of the survivors. So like, in this case, maybe you want to pick whichever warrior you want to have a skin of, like whichever warrior you want to play as, whichever hunter and whichever support. Keep in mind there's, I know at least 2 unlockable characters, there might be a 3rd one, but I know there's 2 unlockable characters already, and those you have to do missions for. So we're gonna go into Hunter. We're gonna go pick good old Ash. I was right, Evil Dead 2. Again, I could tell by the color, by the cuts, not the colors, the cuts in the face. I could tell. I've seen the movie so much. So the first one increases the range of ranged weapons. That's actually kind of neat. Now looking at it, weapon damage, dismemberment damage. That's actually kind of helpful when you're dealing with some of the enemies. Reduce the amount of fear received from demon traps. That's actually not bad at all. We talked about fear. Fear essentially allows the, I keep trying to say killer, but the demon to possess you, and that could go real bad for your team. Managing your fear is extremely important. It's an extremely important aspect of the game. Alright, so if we go into support now, let's go pick up good old Evil 1. Yeah, the Evil Dead 1. So Ash, Shemp's Cola restores more health, reduce stamina cost of dodging, increase the balance bar damage from your melee attacks. Very neat. Okay, and then let me double check and make sure that with Cheryl, it's the same. Yeah, dude, it's literally the same. Now, what's this? Oh, okay. So we're gonna go through all the survivors in just a moment. But I think you get kind of the idea. You have Hunters inflict more ranged weapon damage, can carry more ammo, and have slower stamina consumption. You might actually like that if you're someone who ends up playing to kind of like run away from the demon that's being possessed at that moment until the demon player runs out of the ability to use that, because they actually have resources they gotta manage. And you got the support class. Support class start with a Shemp's Cola. That's neat. You already start with a healing item and an amulet, so you start with shielding. Basically, it's like force field. And can carry more Shemps and amulets. If Shemps or amulets are used, survivors in your aura also gain the positive effects. So you're basically, I'm going to heal myself. Oh, I also heal the people around me. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and put on this amulet and I'm going to shield myself. Oh, I've also shielded my team. So you definitely have your support class that's gonna like come in clutch. You've got your damage dealers and you've got your like aura buff guy over here. So buff, heal and shield, and then weapon damage. I can already think of somebody that like I play games with that might be interested on a heal and shield kind of gameplay style, or at least a support style. Anyway, let's go back. So we're gonna go into the leader again with Annie. I actually am looking at her name, so I need to remind myself. So her first ability, these are her abilities, right? And you can unlock more. Okay, so the first ability is hit him where it hurts. When activated, this skill increases range damage from Annie and any teammates who are near her. Very neat. That's an awesome buff, especially if you have some range weapon dealers. And even your melee users are going to use range weapons to keep like an enemy away from them sometimes. Howitzer. Liked how I said that? I don't know if I did. Howitzer. You and all teammates within this aura's effect radius deal more damage with ranged weapons. Wait. I'm a little confused here, because for both of them it says range damage. I guess this is one that you can use more often, from what I'm seeing. Whereas this one seems to have a fairly significant cooldown. That's what I think. Excuse me. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Once you get her to level 10, you have Haymaker. Attacks by you and your teammates within this aura's effect radius cause more damage to the balance bar of basic evil units. Now, balance bar is kind of like staggering or stunning, if you will. If you hit them enough, they start to stagger and then they can't hit you because they're staggered, and you just keep them kind of like stun locked. So that's what that would do. So in this case, you would do 25% more balance bar damage. And then for the last one at level 25, you have Slugger, which I'm sure we can all figure out what it's going to be. Attacks by you and your teammates within this aura's effect radius cause more damage to the balance bar of elite and boss evil units. Now this is interesting because the elite and the boss units are going to be the ones later in the match that are probably going to decimate or cause the most trouble outside of possessing a player. And being able to keep them staggered and stun locked, imagine having a team being able to do that. This seems like kind of like a pro play in my opinion, because those demons, like the boss ones especially, they can inflict a lot of damage. All right, so we're done with Annie. We're gonna go into Ash. I want to see quickly if Ash has a different one. He does. Okay, so Wise Man Potions is the first one. Okay, so there is a reason, even though you have a different skill tree, or rather the same skill tree per class, the abilities you use are in fact different. Again, I'm learning this as we go along, so bear with me. So we're just gonna go with Scotty for now since we're already here. I think now looking this over, we're gonna stick to this video being just about survivors only. So we're gonna go into the survivors. I will make a separate video just for the demons. Look out for that one. I'm gonna be posting a lot of videos of this game over the next couple days, so just keep an eye out, an ear out, whatever it is. So Thunder Thrust. Thunder Thrust, when activated, this explosive special move damages all enemies in the surrounding area. So it's basically like an AoE. It's an AoE. It's an AoE. You do an AoE damage. Dude just goes blah, and an AoE damage. Okay. The next one is collateral damage. I actually need a little bit of water. Just allow me a moment. 1 second. Little bit better. Anywho, collateral damage. Your heavy melee attacks inflict additional damage to nearby enemies. Huh. So is that like splash damage? Oh yeah, look at that. It affects the impact radius and the damage dealt to nearby. A 13% increase. And also the impact radius is 9.8 feet. So it's actually cool. It's got a little bit of damage spread. I like this. Okay, at level 10, you got exposure therapy. This dude looks like magical. Scotty looks freaking magical in this. He's from Evil Dead 1, by the way. Right? Pretty sure. You would think I would remember, but I, for some reason, don't. Anywho, partially reduces your fear levels with every enemy you kill. That's neat. With every dude you kill, you actually lower your fear. And that's, I'm gonna make a mental note of that because that's actually something very important. The better gear you have, as you get better geared out, if you get possessed because you have too much fear, you are a literal detriment to your squad. Just be aware. Weapon Master Lumberjack Axe. The Lumberjack Axe has a faster attack speed and deals an increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. I know I read that a little weird, but I think you understand it, plus you can read some of it. So I guess the one part I don't know is if he just like equips this weapon for a short time. It's hard to say. I don't have it unlocked yet, so because I don't have it unlocked yet, I like that sound for some reason. I like the sound of bats. I used to play baseball when I was younger. Like when I was a kid. Not like a teenager or anything like that, but when I was a kid, so it just brings back memories. Anywho, I wonder if it has a cooldown. That sounds like something that's gonna have a cooldown. We won't know until we level it up. That sounds like a long time from now. Anyway, let's go ahead and do Ash. So this is Army of Darkness Ash. We got Wise Man's Potion. When activated, this ability will grant you health restoration, fear reduction, increased damage dealing, and reduction of damage received. Oh, this explains a lot. When I played Demon in the closed beta, because I can actually talk about it now, I went up against a guy that basically, I hate to say it, soloed me using this exact character, the Army of Darkness, the Warrior Ash. And I remember him drinking often, and now I realize it was this. He was drinking this. Wow, interesting. Okay, so Shield Blast. Each time your shield loses a bar, it triggers an explosion, damaging enemies nearby. 200 damage, probably good. Finish Strong. Now this one's at level 10. After Ash kills an enemy with a finisher, he recovers part of his shield bar. Wait, no, Scotty's from Evil Dead 2. Yeah. Scotty's from... I'm silly. I remember now. I was just remembering when he was using the axe. Anyway, so again, after Ash kills an enemy with a finisher, he recovers part of his shield bar. This is neat because when you do finishers, you don't really get anything back from it. Theoretically, maybe there's something in the skill tree when you get finishers. This might be a good time to check. No. So it's just literally that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And finally, for the Weapon Master, you have the Chainsaw. So, I guess he just does a lot of damage with the Chainsaw, like more damage with the Chainsaw. Or he carries it right away. It's hard to tell, I don't know. The Chainsaw has a faster attack speed and deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. Again, I went up against a player that played this character, and that Chainsaw... I have nightmares. I have nightmares of that Chainsaw. Alright, the last warrior is going to be Henry the Red, correct? Yes, that's his name. Army of Darkness, I remember, thankfully. His abilities are unstoppable. Activating the ability temporarily prevents damage to health or shield. So he's kind of like invulnerable. I like it. Shields up. Start the match with an additional shield bar. Interesting. So you can... he has more shield. If I'm correct, shield... You know, I actually don't know. Shield either, in this case, affects your... when you start taking health damage, which is my guess, or it affects how soon you can start getting staggered. One of the two. I'm not sure which one, but I'm gonna have a separate video on me just playing through the tutorial. That way you guys can watch the tutorial, see the controls and stuff like that. Anyway, level 10 is Rebound. Reflects a percentage of the damage you receive back onto your attacker. Neat. I take some, I give back. I like it. Battle Hardened. Increases maximum health and shield bar length. So this is probably the tankiest mofo in the game. This guy can take way more damage and even dish out some of it in return. And you already know that he shares the exact same warrior skill tree. He's only going to really have the one outfit, theoretically. Alright, let's start with the hunters. We're going to go back to Ashley Williams. So his first one is Exorcist. Activating this ability exorcises the demon from any possessed survivor or basic unit. Ah, very nice. It actually makes sense that the Evil Dead 2 Ash does this, if you've seen the movies. If used on a possessed elite or boss unit, the ability drains some infernal energy from the demon. Okay, so what this means in this case is, not only do you take the opposing player out of their possession, it also drains them of some of their resources. Imagine like mana or magic power. In this case, it's called infernal energy. It's like their stamina almost, I don't know. Anyway, that's neat. Treasure Hunter. See supply crates through walls at close range. That's neat if you're trying to get geared out. I would say this is probably the weakest thing I've seen in the entire of all of them, but I could see it being useful, especially if you're trying to get geared out before the other players. Especially if you're playing with randos, sometimes you're just gonna grab the items that you were about to grab. You open a chest and then they steal the items on the floor. It's a thing, man, it's a thing. Ah, I love this one. I'm the guy with the double barrel. Start the match with the double barrel. So you actually literally start the match with that gun, particularly, which makes me believe that that lumberjack axe, you start off with it. So I wonder if that's a legendary weapon or at least an epic weapon. Good question. There's rarities, but we'll go into that later. Weapon Master Double Barrel. The double barrel has a faster attack speed and deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. You're seeing a little bit of a theme here. So it looks like in a lot of cases, some of these people or some of the survivors are going to have like weapon specialties. Alright, let's play with Ed. Good old Ed. Alright, so Ed has... When activated, this ability grants use of a unique flashlight that allows you to detect and temporarily disarm demon traps. So it's kind of like Dead by Daylight where you use a flashlight to like deactivate the hag traps. Traps are there to instill fear. Fear makes you possessible. Remember that. It's very important that you're not possessible. This is actually a really nice support skill while still being a survivor that can deal a lot of damage and even take some. So that's kind of neat. So it's more balanced for a warrior, it looks like. Oh no, this is ranged, right? So a hunter. So more stamina and ranged weapon damage, correct. Enduring light increases the battery life of your flashlight. Fun fact, your flashlights in the game have only so much battery. Level 10, you have the Weapon Master Crossbow. So he's a crossbow master. You may or may not like this, so that might be like a deal breaker for this character. Really depends with you guys. The crossbow has a faster attack speed that deals increased health balance bar and dismemberment damage. The collector increases the chance that defeated enemies will drop items. Also improves the chance of finding crates of higher rarity. Now that's a skill. I like the skill way more than treasure hunter, but I could see someone bringing in a treasure hunter player with a collector player rolling together and working together. You'll be able to. I like this. See, that's good because the sooner you get geared out, the easier the game gets. And if you get it geared out before the demon levels up enough to have like a strong boss unit and stuff like that, you're probably gonna win the game. Probably. All right, let's check out the next one. All right, so we'll wrap up this video with these last 3 survivors, and then I'm gonna make a separate video for just the demons, and I'll actually have both of those uploaded for you guys today. I will be playing this game on stream, keep that in mind. So, for good old Kelly from Ash vs. Evil Dead, really good show. Please watch it. Please watch it. It's got 3 seasons, if I remember. I actually haven't seen the 3rd season. What a shame. Anyway, I really wish it kept going. It was such a great show. I think what hurt the show is it being put maybe in the wrong service. I feel like if it started off somewhere else, it would have been better. Especially back then, where like Netflix wasn't really canceling all their shows left and right. Anyway, we're going off topic. Slip shot. When activated, you dodge without using stamina, and your range attacks cause the bleeding damage to your target for a short period. It's kind of neat because like dodging is so important in the game to avoid getting hit, especially like from big hits. And then like you can actually hurt them a little bit more. She's a contender in my opinion for a character I'd like to play. Weapon Master. Meat Hammer. The Meat Hammer has a faster attack speed and deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. So far, so good. Counter Shot. Your next ranged attack after a successful dodge inflicts bleeding. Damage on your targets for a short time. Interesting. So you have Slip Shot, which has a cooldown, and then you have... Okay. And so like, this reminds me of like Monster Hunter World when you use a bow, or you're a bow user, and like you do the dodge and then you fire, you power up your range attacks after dodging. So that's what I think about. So it looks like you have to dodge, but remember, dodge kills your stamina, so you can't use it all the time. Battle Frenzy. Your melee damage increases the longer you are in sustained combat. Interesting. Alright, she's a contender. I like her. I like her. Alright, let's go to the support class. Now, we're gonna go with Ash with Evil Dead 1 first. So his first ability is Reassuring Presence. When activated, this ability reduces fear levels for you and nearby teammates. Very neat. I'm telling you, support characters, you're going to be needed. Alternative Healing. Successful heavy melee attacks partially restore health for you and nearby teammates. It's hard not to want somebody playing this character in your team. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and state it. Marked target damage. So not only that, you can actually mark a target kind of like a hunter from World of Warcraft or even in other games. I like this. Headshots will mark the target. Ooh, a follow-up shot from a teammate will deal additional damage. So if you're good at headshots, then you're gonna need this. Now, I'm playing this on Xbox. Keep that in mind. I didn't grab it for PC. It is in fact crossplay and cross-gen. So if you have Xbox One or Xbox Series, whichever one, you can play with each other, but I can also play with PlayStation gamers. I can also play with Epic Store gamers as well. Or just Xbox gamers. It's whether you turn the feature on or off. Anywho, for the last one, we have Marked Target Healing. Headshots will mark the target. A follow-up shot from a teammate will restore a percentage of the damage back to them as health. So if you have somebody in your team that's great at headshots, you probably want them to play this player. That's just me, this survivor. That's something to think about. All right, let me take another little bit of this water because again, my voice is leaving me. Alrighty. It's so hard, man. I've been talking nonstop for the last couple weeks. Anyway. So we have Cheryl Williams, and Cheryl, which is, I think, Ash's sister. Yeah, isn't she Ash's sister from the show? Anyway, Healing Touch. Activate this ability to create a healing zone for you and your teammates. Cola Coaster. Carry more Shemp's Cola and start the match with an extra one in your inventory. Now, that is cool because you can actually drop your items to support your team. So not only can you carry more, you also start with more. So if someone starts taking damage, you can share, and sharing is caring. So this seems to be like the true healer in the game, whereas the Ash so far is more like a damage dealing healer. That makes sense? Alright, Contact Courage. Drinking a Shemp's Cola partially reduces your fear and the fear of nearby teammates. So if you're drinking to get your health back, you also reduce fear for yourself and everybody. That's kind of neat. Contact Healing. When you drink a Shemp's Cola, nearby teammates will also gain health. This is probably one of my favorite characters so far. Now you have... Yeah, you see? You still have the ability to improve your damage output anyway with this skill tree. This is good. Alright, I think that's every available survivor that I have right now. So I'm going to go back and show that you have something called missions, which apparently I got to do the tutorial for. So maybe we'll do a video just on the missions alone. Interesting. The missions are how you unlock the extra characters. So you have King Arthur right over here. You can actually unlock him. I'm pretty sure that's Arthur. Anywho. So now that we're done with survivors, let's go ahead and look at demons. Now with demons, you have the warlords, the puppeteer. Okay, so excuse me, the warlord. Singular, not plural. Puppeteer and necromancer. Now each of these Kandarian spirits, demons, whatever it is, because you play this Kandarian demon as when you're playing the demon side, and then these are kind of like your units. You have your boss units, you have your elite units, and then you have your regular basic minions. So let's start off with the warlord. I'm not gonna lie, I love seeing this over here because it's from Army of Darkness, and right over there at the very middle, bottom, whatever, is Evil Ash. Now, fun fact, I actually have the OG, like Gen 1 Todd McFarlane Ash figure for Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, rather, and the Evil Ash one. Pretty proud about that. I'm missing some pieces, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, moving on. We'll start off with the Warlord. That is a lot of skills. Okay, so each clan has it. I don't even know if it's okay for me to like show this. Oh my god. Anyway, so you have skills like Hemophobia, Speeding Train, Too Grossed Out to Run. So I'm assuming what that's interesting. So they can't sprint. Ooh, interesting. I think I've talked about already how some plays you could do is just outrun the possession. Too Grossed Out to Dodge. Head Start. Start the match with a portion of your maximum infernal energy. That's actually kind of important because you save time in gathering, and you can just start leveling up way quicker. Interesting. Anyway, Blood Splatter increases the fear level of affected survivors. High blood pressure increases the range of blood splatter. I actually don't know what that does. Coagulation increases the duration of obscured vision from blood splatter. Interesting. Increases the range of Deadite's puke. Okay, so like range damage, I think. Yeah, increases the damage from Deadite's puke. Increases the duration of objective events for survivors while the demon player is inside the objective's item aura. Interesting. Oh, that is disgusting. I'm having a really hard time with this. Test of Time. Increases the duration of objective events for what I already read that. See, she's not distracting. Fear factor. Reduces required fear level before survivors become visible in demon vision. Huge. Because tracking survivors is so crucial to get into the game as fast as possible. You actually can't see them early on. This is really cool. We're just gonna go over those first 2 tiers, I think. Alright, so Bad Influence. When activated, this skill generates an aura around the demon player for a limited time that increases the power of surrounding evil units. It can only be activated when the demon player is in spirit form, but will continue to work if the demon player possesses another unit. That's actually kind of interesting, I think. This is a very interesting clan. I don't think I've seen anybody play this one, but this is all interesting to me so far. Cool. So it's kind of like a Necro Paladin buff. Anyway, really bad influence. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So really bad influence 1 enhances the effects of bad influence, further improving surrounding units' health, damage ability, and attack frequency, as well as increasing the range of the aura. Interesting. Really bad influence 2 is the same thing. So all you do from level 15 to 45, holy moly, is you increase your aura's effect, which is interesting. I might actually look into this. So you got outfits to look into. I have to buy it. I just can't with that. Alright, so these are the default outfits, and then you can do the firefighters, which is interesting. So here's your boss. Your boss is... God, looks so bad. The boss is Henrietta. She's from Evil Dead 2. I don't think she's in 1. She might be in 1, actually. She's definitely in 2. Once the loving wife of Professor Nobi, Henrietta is all Deadite boss now. She's got otherworldly strength, the ability to levitate, clearly, and puts out a noxious stink that'll clear your sinuses and more. I actually need that for my throat right now. Look out for her revolting granny hug. It's a killer. What a knee slapper. Alright, so this is your Deadite elite unit. Hold up, can I? That way you can actually see what they look like normally. The Deadite elite unit. These elite units are more resistant to health damage and damage to their balance bars than basic. They move slowly, but they can engage multiple survivors at once with their bare hands or melee weapons. When they are hit by melee attacks, the resulting blood splatter can temporarily blind nearby survivors. Interesting. I wonder if the units... Yeah, you know what? I'm 99% sure that each of the units are different per clan, which would make sense. So for the Deadite, you have the basic units attack up close with the bare hands, an axe, or their own self-amputated limbs. If you piss them off, they might puke on you. They're not particularly tough on their own, but they can counterattack, and when they move in groups, they pose a serious threat. Interesting. So they can puke, and they can rip out their arms and throw them. No, use them as a weapon. Interesting. And then they can dodge. These guys have Deadite Smash, which is like a Hulk smash, basically. And then Big Swing. The Big Swing might be slow, but it covers 180 degrees and deals serious damage. For Henrietta, you have Belly Flop. I realize there's so much to like show off here. Henrietta slams herself to the ground, damaging anyone unlucky enough to be within the shockwave. Gas Leak. Henrietta leaves a trail of toxic fumes behind her. Nope. Granny Hug. Henrietta squeezes a survivor's head. This cannot be dodged. To break free, other survivors must attack Henrietta. So it's kind of like a grab. Interesting. Alright. So let's go and look at the next one. So this is going to be Puppeteer. I've seen some people play this one, and the boss seems pretty strong in my opinion. I think the enemy units aren't that strong from what I saw. We're only going to go through the first 2 tiers. Shock and Awe increases the damage radius of the Thunderstruck ability. Interesting. Increases the amount of damage inflicted. Radius and amount of damage. Okay. Increases the range of Telekinetic Surge ability with Power Surge. Fear Factor. Reduces required fear level before. Okay, Fear Factor was also on the other one. Ooh, Wicked Fast increases the respawn speed of infernal orbs. So you're more likely to find orbs on the map, it looks like. That's what it seems to be. For tier 2, again, we're only doing the first 2 tiers, is Tenacious Demonic Dash. Reduces cooldown for the Demonic Dash. So this seems to be like an ability. Scarier Demonic Dash, which increases the amount of fear. Oh, I think this is the... Okay, so there's an ability that this clan can do on this demon clan, where you kind of like aim and it like slingshots, and if you aim it right, you can get more than one survivor actually, and it almost like basically instantly fears them in a lot of cases, but if you don't, it's a massive amount of fear, and we've talked about it, fear can get squads dead. Anywho, Demonic Demolition increases the amount of damage inflicted by Deadites Berserkers' self-destructibility. Fun fact, they blow up. It's really neat. Berserker Blowout increases the blast radius of the self-destructibility. Important. Head Start. Start the match with a portion of your maximum infernal energy. Okay, so far, this tree is exactly the same as the last. So it's possible that the entire bottom area over here is the same on every clan, and then what's different is this top section. We're gonna investigate that on the next clan. So you have Puppet Master Power Possessed. So this is kind of like the Possessed clan. Like, you playing this Kandarian Demon, your ability to possess is way, way stronger than any of the other clans, and that could be really important in some situations. Units you possess have more health, deal more damage, and their attacks increase fear in their targets. So Puppet Grandmaster 1, and I'm assuming 2 and 3, increases the health and damage of the Puppet Master ability. So basically, you possessing just more health and damage. You're basically, every time you possess, you're a tanky wrecking ball, essentially. Interesting. I've seen some people play this. This was the way I was leaning. And the only reason why I want to play this one is because Evil Ash. I mean, duh. Alright, so Necromancer. First, let's look ahead. Ah, look, you see, no fear factor, and the other one is not here. So it's actually different. It's actually different. Interesting. Okay, so Rocksteady Elites increases the balance bar length of elite units. Nice, so they're less likely to get staggered. That's pretty good, especially if you possess them. Health Razor Elite increases... Okay, so you're basically buffing the elites. Maximum health, balance bar damage. Rocksteady Basic. So this is the basic tree, right? Yeah, this is the basic tree. It looks like. Or it starts off with the basic. And this is the elite. Okay, no, there's definitely other stuff. Okay, so they do kind of spread it out, and you gotta pick what you want. Increases the balance bar length of basic units. Increases the amount of infernal energy received from infernal orbs. Boss units are more resistant to balance bar damage. Very, very important, I think. Very, very important, I believe. Health Razor Basic increases the maximum health of basic units. So they kind of like strewn all the different buffs for all your different units all over the place. You can't really just be like, all right, I want to like max out my basics and go through one tree, or all my elites and go through one area. They're kind of like strewn about everywhere from the seams of it. All right, second tier. Seismic Smash increases the damage dealt by the Skeleton Elite's Trident Smash. And then also widen the impact area of the Trident Smash with extra large Trident Smash. So it's got a bigger range, bigger damage. Louder War Cry increases the Necromancer's War Cry effect area. Cool. Portal Authority Elite reduces the amount of infernal energy required to place a portal. Ooh, that... I feel like they all have really cool things. Scarier Demonic Dash, more fear when you do that little like dash thing to scare them. And then more infernal energy when you use that. Okay, so let's go to the abilities. I've seen this one, it's kind of cool. Flute to kill. Increases the bonus damage and defense that the floatus. I don't know. Someone correct me, please, in the comments, please. The guy who plays the flute provides to nearby evil units. The guy who plays the flute cannot move or be possessed. So it's basically a dude that, like, a skeleton that you spawn and buffs all units within the area. So don't be surprised if you see survivors targeting this dude. You do want to protect him if you're, like, possessed at any moment. Just something to think about. Skelephobia. Skeletons increase the fear level of survivors near them. Neat. Sorry about the dog barking, by the way. I think I just heard it. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My neighbor's dog has been barking almost nonstop for like 6 hours now. 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 hours. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Motivational music increases the bonus damage and defense that the guy who plays the flute provides to nearby evil units. And finally, skeletal injury. Skeletons increase the damage received by nearby survivors. Interesting. Okay. So we've read through all of the abilities. Let's go into Puppeteer, look at the skins. Only one. So this is how they look like. They look cool, man. And oh my goodness, how did I forget to go through this part? Okay, so back to these guys, the Puppeteer. You have this guy is a beast. I've seen this guy like solo survivors, like survivor squads. Eligos or Aligos can be called a lot of things, but a minor demon is not one of them. In addition to the ability to throw rocks with his mind, he wields a telekinetic power to temporarily stun all nearby survivors. He's also invisible when moving, so good luck stopping him. So that's the key right there with him. He actually goes invisible while he's moving around, and then you just target whoever you want to attack and just like tunnel them, literally tunnel them. Demi Aligos elite unit. Pretty straightforward, what you would expect. They're resistant to ranged weapon attacks, and their balance bar must be depleted before they can be knocked back. Oh, and they can fry survivors with a burst of telekinetic energy and even clone weaker versions of themselves, so they split into like more units. And you got the Berserker, man, that looks cool. These basic units pose a threat to any survivor foolish enough to let them get too close. Able to self-destruct at will, they also blow up when killed. So if the survivors kill them and they don't run out of the range, they take damage from the actual unit blowing up. And they can use their decapitated heads as a ranged explosive. Quick on their feet and skilled at inducing fear, their low health is their biggest weakness. So they can self-destruct, they have a head rush, which is throwing their own heads, and then they can dodge. Only the basic units can dodge. The elite has Thunderstruck, which basically it looks like it's an area of effect attack as opposed to like a cone in front of them, I think. If the survivors don't move, they're hit by a lightning strike. It's either or. I've seen cone attacks, but I wonder if this is more of like around the Eligos, because I know this guy has an all-around attack, which is really neat. Duplicity. Demi Eligoses conjure a clone of themselves with identical damage dealing ability, but very low health. So they clone themselves, they split apart, and you have more units. And the sooner you overwhelm the squad, the better, especially if you drop this bad boy here with Telekinetic Surge. Telekinetic Surge. Eligos uses telekinetic power to immobilize nearby survivors. Dude, this stun is so good. It's so good. Sorry. Casting Stones. Eligos launches rocks at survivors. And then Psychic Squeeze. Eligos uses so it's the grab. So Psychic Squeeze is the grab. Cool, and then it can be interrupted. Alright, let's go back. We've already shown the firefighters, right? And we already read the ability. Yeah, okay. They puke and all sorts of stuff. Okay. Let's see if these guys have an outfit. Nope, just a default outfit. Makes sense. Evil Ash. You're probably gonna see this guy a lot. You're probably gonna see this guy the most. Anyway. Ash's evil, ugly twin commands the army of darkness. He spawns with a sword and can dodge in combat. He can also summon skeletons, revive dead skeletons, and drain health from survivors with his Infernal Invigoration attack. So he can actually bring back some of his units. He can raise units as well. He's a necromancer, that's what he is. And he has great damage. He's just real slow. Excuse me, but all the bosses for the most part are slow. Actually, no, I feel like the Elagos is pretty quick. Sorry, I'm talking so much, I have gas. Anyway, or hiccups, excuse me. Skeleton Elite, I was about to say Skeleton Elite. Skeleton Elite, these heavily armored skeletons have risen through their decomposed ranks into positions of leadership. Masters of combat, their tridents are deadly as melee weapons or range weapons. Yes, I've seen people throw those tridents. Finally, you got the basic units. They can block with their shields, but lose their shields when their balance bar is slowly depleted. Cool. They have lunging thrust, a strong and slow melee attack with long range. Warcry, this blood-curdling yell inflicts light damage and knocks back any survivor within range, and they can dodge, because again, basic units dodge. Trident Smash. This is the one that's like a cone in front of the unit. Skeleton Elites charge forward and smash the ground, damaging anyone in the shockwave. And Trident Toss. The Skeleton Elite throws his trident, dealing heavy damage to anyone it hits. Finally, with Ash, or Evil Ash, you have Skeletal Support. Evil Ash summons skeletons to help fight. Skeleton Resurrection. Every skeleton who dies within the Aura's effect area comes back to life. I like. Infernal Invigoration. When Evil Ash chokes a survivor, Evil Ash heals and the survivor's health is damaged. Interesting. This attack cannot be dodged. To break the hold, survivors must attack. Ah! Mofo. There we go. And, and Dash. Dash is the other one. Dash is the other one. Okay. And then I think that's it, right? We're done? We've gone through all of them? Yeah, we went through all of them. Okay, so that's all the demons. So, I'll be doing a video of maybe going through the tutorial, because I need to unlock the mission, so I need to play the tutorial no matter what. So maybe we'll do a video of just the survivor tutorial, a video of just the killer tutorial, the demon tutorial, and then we'll do maybe a video on the missions. It depends if you guys are interested in it. I don't know, it's up to you. And then we have the actual Survivor vs. Demon gameplay. You can go against bots, or play with bots for that matter. Or you can play against people. I still haven't played a match ever since I bought the game, but I just kind of wanted to record these videos as soon as possible. But I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like it, please like it. If you have any comments, please put it in. I do reply to all comments. And then finally, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm a streamer. I stream on Twitch most nights of the week, so roughly 5 to 6 days. Usually Tuesdays through Thursdays. I upload on YouTube 5 times, so Mondays through Fridays. I'll be uploading on TikTok starting in a couple of days. And that's gonna be almost daily content, it looks like. And Instagram's gonna join that as well. I'm Georgeazoid all across the board. I hope to see you anywhere in there. And always remember to be good, be great, be grand. I did it with the controller. Goodbye. Bye.